Hey guys, it's Dylan Sider from Kinfolk Carpentry here, and it is a rainy, cold October day in central Pennsylvania, and I'm lucky to be inside doing some trim. This is the addition on my own personal house that I showed you last week, and today I'm going to be doing some window trim and door trim. I'll kind of get into it, and I'll show you what I got going on. So I got all these windows to trim out, and this big door, and it's going to be kind of like a craftsman style head detail with just 1x4 legs, and I will also be putting like a sill and an apron on it as well. Alright, I got one window all trimmed out. I'd say it took me about a half an hour. Here's some of the detail, apron. I pre-assemble my jamb with my sill in, and then I nail my casing to it, and I screw up through the sill into my casing to hold those from going in and out, and so you get a nice square reveal there. And then I place my head on top and my apron underneath. I don't worry necessarily about supporting the sill. I just kind of nail through the jamb and nail through my casing. Because the sill is screwed into the casing, and the casing is nailed to my king stud out there, that will never sag. And then once I put my apron in, that's all nailed into studs down there, and then I nail through here, so it's got lots of support there. You guys just saw a time lapse of me doing this. Now I'm going to do another one and kind of explain how I'm doing it. So to start, I measure from inside to inside here, and then I add a ½ inch, so that gives me a ¼ inch reveal all the way around. I do that here to here and there to there, and that will give me the length of everything I need for my jamb and sill. I'm using 1x6 for my jamb because I can't get 2 out of 1 with a 1x4. So I'm basically cutting it to length and then ripping it to the dimension I need. And then to find out how much I need to rip it to, I'm measuring from my window to my drywall. Right. All right, so I have my 3 sides of my jamb tack. Just tack it. I like to put some screws in them. Run it in reverse first, and it won't split. Run it in reverse. It won't split. So that's my jamb together. And now I'll cut my sill. How I figure my sill out is the measurement in between here and here, inside to inside. I add a ½ inch for my reveals, and then I add 3½ on each side for my casing, outside of my casing, and then I add 2 inches for my overhang on my sill. So I add all those measurements up, and that is the overall length of my sill, from outside of 45 to outside of 45. So my measurement in between here is 39.25. So my overall sill measurement is, you're going to add 9.5, which is 48.75, and that will be my sill length. Right now you're seeing interior to interior. Then I'm adding my 1/4 inch on each side for my reveal, then 3.5 on each side for my casing, and then my 2 inches, inch on each side for my sill, and that will be my sill length. Okay, I'm cutting my sill. Keep that for my returns. I have to find center. 2 foot 3/8. And then 40.75. 20.75. So from here, I'm going to measure how deep it is from my drywall to my window, and I'm going to make a notch in here to notch that out. Because this cut isn't really seen, I usually just open my fence way up and I freehand them. Boom. That's how it should look right there. It sits down here like so. And from these two cuts, outside to outside, is the same length as my head jamb, so that I know everything is square. Now we pop a few screws in that. Marking a 1/4 inch reveal here, and my corner. Measure that. On my reveal. Like I said before, screw through the bottom of my jamb into my casing. So that's ready to install. So here I'm just going to show you how nice and tight that is. All the way around, nice reveal on my mark there. Nice and tight to the sill, and that's all screwed together, so that's never coming apart. Both sides. Look at that. Bam. From here, pop it on there like so. And I can smack it right through here. Watching my reveals over there. Yeah. Okay, I'll be in a second. The joys of working at home. Oh, okay. So now from that point, I can throw my apron in and my header up here. So this is my head detail here. In the rest of my house, I actually did this in 3 pieces. I did a bead, a 1x6, and then crown on it. But I added the cost of a 16-footer for 3 pieces plus just ordering this molding. And this molding was like $10 cheaper for a 16-footer. So, and it actually saves me a ton of time because I only have to cut 1 piece instead of 3. So that is my head detail, and it looks like this. And so I'm going to cut the head and install it here on the rest of my window trim. All right, so I got my returns in on each side there, and return in here, and this is my last one right there, and then this window is done. Hey guys, thanks for sticking around. Here is a shot of all the trim all finished up. I got this beam all in this week as well. And I've been painting into the wee hours every day after kind of work to just try to get this moving. Stick around for future videos as I make more progress on the addition.